On today's show, the guys talk about the ability of schools to dominate local media in the 21st century. They also discuss the upcoming Future of Education Technology Conference, FETC 2018. That's up next on EduTechGuys. EduTechGuys Radio, radio.edutechguys.com.
The opinions expressed under the site and its programs are those of participants and not intended to and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of any specific educational entity, sponsor, company, state, or government agency.
Hello and welcome to EduTechGuys Radio. How you doing? I am David Henderson.
Hey, and I'm Jeff Madlock.
Awesome. Welcome back to a brand new calendar year. Here it is now 2018. Holy smokes.
Pretty exciting stuff.
We have a lot of exciting stuff coming up this year. I think it's going to be really cool. Big news for EduTechGuys as we continue to reach out and grow and help folks tell their story.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really cool.
Hey, be sure to follow us on all things EduTechGuys on Twitter. You can just go to twitter.com/EduTechGuys. Heck, just go out to Google, type in EduTechGuys, and you're going to find us because we're everywhere. But you might want to check under your bed tonight before you go to sleep.
That's right.
We can be there. Also, visit us at edutechguys.com, edutechguys.com. Drop down to the bottom of the page. You'll find a nice form there. You can tell us how much you love us and you'd like to shower us with money and love. So, yeah, check us out on the web. Yes, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, we love making the show, and we love visiting with educators and hearing their stories at events all across the nation. Help us continue spreading the love by sponsoring either the show itself, a conference appearance, or both. You can visit edutechguys.com/sponsors to find out how you can help keep the EduTech Guys train rolling and get your name or company into markets that you might not currently occupy.
Hit the web, people.
Hit the web.
Yep, it's going to be a great show today. We were talking, David and I have done a lot in the area of media, as you can tell.
Can you? Sometimes I'm not so sure.
So, yeah. Are you guys professionals? No, we're actually just glorified amateurs.
That's right. We play radio hosts online. Yeah. That's what we do.
No, so yeah, today we were talking about, and it came up, I guess, here, the local media here in Hope is we had a television station.
Right, had
a television station, and it's kind of up in the air. Mm-hmm. And in helping them look into that, we were kind of brought into it.
Sure.
And so we just started discussing the actual viability of cable television.
Right.
Of television, what can we do for television and where we're moving? And it's really kind of interesting. 4 years ago, I would have said, yeah, man, television. Who wouldn't want to be on TV? Mm-hmm. But, I don't have cable television anymore myself. It's Fire Stick and Apple TV and
sure.
Netflix and Hulu and that whole bit.
Well, and look at what happened at the Golden Globes. In terms of who won, no, let's not talk about the other stuff happening at Golden Globes. Good, bad, or ugly. That other stuff is whatever. Yeah. But in terms of the content and the types of shows and the providers of those shows that won the awards, they were all the Hulus and Netflix and the big three networks. Amazon. Nowhere to be seen. I mean, it was But that's what's interesting, and you're right. And there's the thing that I think, and we got into this discussion about the fact that now you can just build your own app and put it out there for Roku or Amazon mm-hmm. or Apple TV or whoever the platform is that'll download the app. Right.
And that's your channel. It's like, I want to go watch, the Hope Arkansas channel. Well, I'm just going to open up the Hope Arkansas TV app and they're streaming to me.
Right.
And that's a lot different than having the big towers and having cable and all that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's changed the whole market. But, that brings into effect, we were talking about that schools, and what's happening here, and they're learning pretty quickly, is that converting a cable television, converting a television channel, a television studio,
right,
even to a modern cable,
mm-hmm.
to get it to, it's very expensive.
Sure.
And the value in it, the return on the market is very low.
Right.
Whereas, like a local cable company here, and I hate it that the cable TV is not here anymore, but its market was very low. It was mm-hmm. on this cable channel and a few cable channels close to here.
Right.
But that was it. It was L.A., Lower Arkansas, and even then it was a small market.
Right.
So it's really different when you can go to the web, because you're probably still going to pick up all of the people that were going to watch it anyway. They'll pick it up on their Apple TV or whatever, their media device. But then you're starting to pick up, it's worldwide. Then you're reaching, you're reaching all the former high school alumni and anyone that ever lived here and loved it but moved off for a job or whatever reason.
Right.
They're watching local content in Saskatchewan and Singapore and, Kuala Lumpur.
And the real kick is that in terms of firing up a media outlet, I'm old school, so I keep wanting to call it a TV station. But that's really, we're not talking about over-the-air television. We're talking about through-the-wire television. And the cost of starting up a studio at a high school with the equipment that you would need to facilitate broadcasting really is not a whole lot of money in the scheme of things. And the truth is, most districts probably already have much of the equipment they would already need, especially if you've already got. And I know some districts, some schools around the country, they still have television stations. Well, if you take what you're doing in your school television station and you plug it in online, guess what? Now you're broadcasting everywhere to anyone. And so this is one of the things that Jeff and I were talking about. I truly believe that if the high schools, if you can find sponsors or educators, by sponsors I mean a parent or a teacher sponsor or whatever, a facilitator who will guide and oversee what the students are going to do, especially if you don't already have a broadcast studio at your district. But if you do already have a broadcast studio at your district, you're already 99% of the way there. You get that mentor, that person who's going to oversee things and make sure the students aren't going to do anything too stupid. But then you have the students creating the content and conducting the interviews and generating the again, I hate to use the word content again, but I mean, creating all of the stuff that's going to occupy that broadcast stream. I mean, they can send it out anywhere they want to. Like Jeff mentioned, they could throw it out on a Roku app. They could broadcast it. You could even do live streaming to places like YouTube, or if the district would like a way to possibly help raise some money for it, throw it up on a site like Twitch, where people pay to watch it. And who's going to pay to watch high school kids do a newscast, or high school kids do? The alumni, the community. Believe me, there are people who would pay $3 a month or $5 a month to watch what the students are coming up with in terms of, you talk about local content, very local content, very specific content. What I like about the whole concept is, even if let's forget the whole Twitch thing, okay? Let's just say we're going to throw it out there, and we're going to do live streaming through Facebook or YouTube or whatever. Or
livestream.com.
Or even whatever,
which has beautiful packages. But anyway, yeah,
right. So it's out there. Let's say that scares the tar out of you. I can understand that. So you don't do live. You get it all recorded and packaged, and then upload it to whatever hosting site you're going to upload it to. The thing is that they are reaching out directly to the local community. That, to me, speaks even more than a lot of so-called local news stations. You look at Arkansas, okay? We have two, well, not two local stations, but we basically have two local markets.
Right.
The local markets for where we live in LA, in Lower Arkansas, is the Little Rock market, which actually is about 120 miles away from here, or the Shreveport market, which is probably pretty close to that the other direction. 90 miles. Okay.
Either way, Shreveport's an hour and 10 minutes, and Little Rock's an hour and a half.
Yeah. So that's not really local.
It's not local.
And as Jeff had mentioned at the top of the show, there used to be a local broadcast television station here that broadcast through cable. That's all defunct and now, and gone. to me, I think that's a perfect opportunity for local school districts to pick up that ball and run.
And there's the thing that gets really interesting about everything a school district picking up local media has to bring to the table. And what that brings to the table is not just the aspect of kids finding value in doing something. And the value to them is, well, guess what? It's a video web world. That's where we live. I mean, we're working in a media web world. Mm-hmm. And so getting these kids into that and learning it's going to only prepare them to leave if they leave, or continue to stay here and maybe open up their own, entrepreneurial business, doing media here, providing more media content, because that's going to always be the deal, is content. Mm-hmm. You're never going to not have the need for projects and content.
Right.
The other side of that is that it also brings your community very much closer to your school district and vice versa. Yeah. Because now they are finding themselves jumping in up to their necks in community aspect things, things that are going on in the community. Mm-hmm. It's not just about the football games and everything going on with the school. It has to do with everything going on with the churches and the community organizations, parades, you name it.
Right.
Business meetings, city hall meetings. It's going to get down to where content is not going to be a problem when you get right down to the factor of it. So you're talking about helping a town rebuild itself through media and providing succinct, in time, on purpose media for the community, and you're getting your kids in there. And we could go on for days about what does that entail. Well, if you can think about what it entails to do a television station, you're talking about everything from the business end of it to the scheduling and writing end of it. You're talking about pretty much bringing in everything, computer science end of it, the media end of it. You can use pretty much everything. You're going to need music. So which of those band kids want to start learning to write music for commercials and shows? You need sportscasters. You need the whole kit caboodle. There is no reason that you couldn't bring in every division of a school system into it. And now you're controlling a really interesting part. There would be nothing more fun than taking one. There's several new live streaming things out there that can be immediately, can live stream. And when you build your network, that means that every classroom has the ability to do the morning announcements, not just to your school district, but to your entire community.
Sure.
And you want to talk about opening the doors and letting your community in and getting that support that you're looking for. We could talk. I mean, geez, I could write a book on this.
But maybe we should write a book on this.
But that's really true. I mean, but every community can do this.
Yep.
And to me, so the first thing you can start talking about is that every community can do it, and you get those CS kids, because coding in Arkansas is a big deal. Coding everywhere is a big deal.
Right.
And that's the very first thing you write that app. You write that app for Roku or Fire Stick or Apple TV or wherever you're going to put it, so that the people can download that app, watch any live content, any scheduled content, and any archived content directly from the app. That means whether it's Hope, Arkansas, or Prescott, Arkansas, or Saskatchewan, or Dover, Maryland, or wherever.
Right.
They can actually have their own media footprint out there and ready to work. That's the sponsorship capabilities. The whole aspect is amazing. Yeah. I mean, when you get right down to it. Does it cost? Yes, it's going to cost, but it's not going to cost any different than anything else costs. And that's the kicker. I mean, but it has the ability, math books cost a lot, and math software costs a lot, and calculators cost a lot, but they don't pay for themselves. And this could...
or at least they don't pay for themselves as quickly as something like this could
and I mean monetarily wise. As far as education goes, it's 10 times over. But I'm talking about this is not this. People could say, well, this has the ability to pay for itself. No, it can pay for itself. You just have to do it.
Right.
It's called, what local business doesn't want to be on the local media produced by students that's getting watched by 20% or greater? It could be up to 80% of the community watching local content. So it's a really big deal. I think it's a really big deal.
Well, and like I said, even if you don't have a broadcast studio at your district, you most likely have equipment that will get you started. I mean, you just need a device. Okay.
Sorry about that.
You just need a device that's got camera, microphone, and a connection with a place to put it.
I mean,
really, that's the bare minimum of what you need. Now, is it going to be, the equivalent of any current broadcast network or anything like that? No, of course it's not. But by the same token, it's what you have to work with. It's what you have to start with. Start somewhere, and then eventually you get that community involvement, and somebody goes, I love what you guys are doing, but what would it take for maybe, better cameras or better mics? Or, hey, what if we wanted you to come cover the parade live while it's happening? What do you guys need for that? It's, we need this, this, and this. And I go, okay, let's do a fundraiser, or let's sponsor that, or I'll just buy that outright and donate it to the school, or whatever. I mean, truly, the possibilities are limitless, and I think it's an amazing, we're in an amazing time. And I think it would be an incredible opportunity for districts in really any district, anywhere, to start to think about doing this type of thing in their community.
Yep, I agree 110%. Hey, make sure you follow us on Twitter, edutechguys.com/Twitter. Go to the website, edutechguys.com. You'll start to see a lot more information concerning this very aspect of what we're talking about. If you'd like to have us come out and talk to you about it, or talk to your kids or your teachers, just visit us at edutechguys.com/sponsorship.
Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, listen, we want to talk a little bit about what's coming up for us in the next 2 weeks. Right off the bat, we're just going to talk about the Future of Education Technology Conference.
Yeah.
David and I will be there the entire time. That is January the 22nd through January the 26th, 23rd to the 6th. And we'll be live streaming from there. We have very few slots left, so if you're listening to this episode, make sure you visit FETC2018.edutechguys.com and sign up. There's a few slots left. That's a great way to find us, FETC2018.edutechguys.com, and you can sign up on that. But is it going to be fun? Heck yeah. We've got a lot of guests. It's a varied group of guests, a very diversified group of guests. We'll be talking about everything you can think of when it comes to education and technology.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's going to cover all kinds of aspects, from various online education repositories to library media to robotics to coding to, looking over the list of folks that have already signed up, it's amazing to me the diversified backgrounds that these folks are going to bring, and they're going to share it with you, the listener. So that's one of my big pushes is, if you're going to FETC, you can come find us. We don't exactly know where we're going to be yet. We're told, though, that we will be right inside the main front entrance at the top of the escalators before you go down to the exhibit hall. So hopefully that's where you'll be able to find us. But if you're not going to FETC, you can tune in to radio.edutechguys.com. Now, we also have a different site that I can't think of.
It's FETC Live, FETCLIVE.edutechguys.com.
Yeah.
Either one, radio.edutechguys.com or FETCLive.edutechguys.com. You can listen to us live.
Yeah, and you can tune in and listen to the folks that are going to be coming and sharing their stories with us. Like Jess said, we have a lot of freaking people signed up. We're so excited. Several of the folks, we've looked through the list, and they are people that we've talked to at previous at last year's FETC. There are some folks that we've actually had as guests on the show during the year. So it's going to be so cool to meet new folks and get reacquainted with old friends and hang out with a couple of mics, spread between us and just talk about education technology. And again, that's going to be at FETC in Orlando, January 23rd through the 26th.
Yep. And also, you can catch us, if you miss us there, here back in Arkansas at the 2018 East Conference in Hot Springs, Arkansas. That's on March the 13th. We'll be there for a few days at the Conference Center in Hot Springs, Arkansas.
Yeah, and then we are going to be going in July, late July, early August, to Minneapolis to the Flipgrid Live 2018 event. That's going to be freaking cool.
That's a good one. And actually, before that, right there at the end of the school year this year, at the beginning of June, we'll be back up in Springdale.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So we'll put more information out about that, and there's no telling what else we'll have to throw in there in between. So you can catch us at a lot of great places.
Yeah. And if you've got an event that either you're attending or if you're listening and you are an event coordinator for a particular event and you would like us to come out and provide live online coverage, reach out to us, edutechguys.com, or hit us up on Twitter at EduTechGuys. And it does not have to be education. I know we are the EduTech guys, and the majority of what we focus on is education, but we can literally sit down and talk with anyone about anything. It can be, if you happen to be heading up the National John Deere Tractor Convention,
give us a holler.
Give us a holler. We would love to come out and talk tractors.
I have a tractor story.
Hey.
Cool. Hey, it's been a great show.
Just saying, man. Yeah, it's awesome.
Cool. Hey, I'm Jeff Madlock.
I'm David Henderson.
We'll catch you next time.
You've been listening to EduTech Guys Radio, radio.edutechguys.com.
The opinions expressed under the site and its programs are those of participants and not intended to and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of any specific educational entity, sponsor, company, state, or government agency.